Facts Verse presents 11 insanely short celebrity marriages. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. While some famous power couples make it through many long years of marriage together, it's no secret that the marriages of many celebrities end in divorce and disaster. However, there are some couples who decide to break things off at record speeds, sometimes even before they finish their honeymoon. Here are the top 11 celebrity marriages that ended so quickly, it'll leave your head spinning. 1. Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman. Carmen Electra, a famous model, singer, actress, and dancer, spent one wild and drunken night with Dennis Rodman, the NBA star. It's important to note that this night was spent in Vegas, a city notorious for impulsive weddings. Reportedly, Rodman was extremely intoxicated when they said their vows. Overall, the marriage lasted only 9 days before the two decided to file for annulment. While 9 days may seem shockingly short, it was apparently more than enough time for the two to get into some heavy arguments. Carmen was arrested briefly for spousal battery, but Rodman dropped the charges shortly after. It wasn't long before the two decided to end things for good, but they claim to still remain friends. Carmen warns others not to make the same mistakes as she and her ex-husband did, saying that it's too easy to get married in Vegas. 2. Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Carmen Electra wasn't the only star to hook up with an NBA player. Kim Kardashian dated Kris Humphries for under a year before the two decided to tie the knot. The wedding was lavish and expensive and was televised throughout the nation. At the time, many people were certain that the reason for the wedding was for publicity alone, despite Kris and Kim's declaration of their love. It wasn't long before many people were proven right, as the marriage only lasted 72 days before they filed for divorce. It didn't take long for Kim to bounce back, however, as she was engaged quickly after to Kanye West. 3. Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock. Kim and Kris's may have been extravagant, but Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson certainly had style of their own. The actor and rock country star had an off and on relationship for a few years before eventually running into each other a while later. Only a few weeks after, they decided it was time to get married. The ceremony was held on a yacht, and there was plenty of booze for every guest. When it came to attire, Pamela stayed true to the boat theme and wore a white bikini and sailor's cap. That very same year, however, the two decided to call it quits on Thanksgiving. It seems that year they were both thankful for the end of their relationship. 4. Ali Landry and Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez and Ali Landry, both famous actors, decided to take their time before getting married. They dated for a total of 6 years before deciding it was time to get married. You'd think, having dated for so long, that their marriage would have lasted even longer. However, immediately after the two were wedded in 2004, Ali's sister had some difficult news for her. She showed the new bride a photo of Mario with another woman at his bachelor party. Mario confessed to his bride that he had gotten a bit carried away during the party and ended up recording the entire story in his memoir, Just Between Us. He even admitted that while he liked Ali, he wasn't actually in love with her. Ali Landry decided after 2 weeks of marriage that it was time to file for divorce. 5. Sophia Bush and Chad Michael Murray. These two actors were co-stars in the drama One Tree Hill. While on set, they fell in love and ended up marrying in 2005 in Santa Monica, California, in a beautiful beach wedding. Before long, however, rumors began circulating that Chad had an affair with Paris Hilton. Crushed, Sophia filed for an annulment, although it wasn't granted. They ended up officially divorcing soon after, however, and the marriage lasted for 5 months in total. The two didn't part on the best of terms, and in an interview, Sophia reported that she has no intentions of ever speaking to him again. 6. Lisa Marie Presley and Nicolas Cage. Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley and a famous singer in her own right, had a brief stint with Oscar winner Nicolas Cage, but the entire affair was extremely dramatic. Nicolas proposed to her with a $65,000 engagement ring, which in 2002, Lisa decided to throw in the ocean while riding on her fiancé's yacht. Still, the two decided to make amends and married a few weeks later in Hawaii. The wedding was beautiful, and Lisa looked stunning in her traditional gown, but a pretty wedding does not make a pretty marriage. The two soon realized they didn't have anything in common and even had difficulty choosing where they should live. Exactly 102 days after the wedding, Nicolas decided it was time for things to end. Reportedly, he even said the two should never have gotten married at all. 7. Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney. This famous actress and country star dated for just 4 months before their marriage. They wedded on a beautiful island in the Caribbean. Another 4 months later, however, Renee annulled the marriage due to fraud. Fans immediately began speculating about the reason why, and even began to question Chesney's sexuality. The two stated publicly, however, that the term fraud was just used as a way to end the marriage quickly, and had nothing to do with Kenny as a person. They had both simply realized that they weren't ready for the commitment of marriage and decided it was time for things to end. 8. Elizabeth Moss and Fred Armisen. Actor Elizabeth Moss is famous for playing many strong female roles, a role she also has in real life. She was married for a year to Fred Armisen, an SNL comedian, and she isn't afraid to speak publicly about her disdain for the marriage. She has referred to the entire affair as traumatizing. In an interview with Howard Stern, Fred himself admitted that he was a terrible husband, and even confessed to infidelity. At least the two managed to end the unhappy marriage quickly, and Elizabeth is thankful they weren't together long enough to have children. 9. Jennifer Lopez and Chris Judd. Jennifer Lopez met her future husband during the making of her music video for Love Don't Cost a Thing. Judd was one of her backup dancers, and a few short months after meeting, the two got married. However, it hadn't been long since Jennifer Lopez had broken off her engagement with the rapper Sean Combs, which may have made it a bad time to rush into another relationship. 7 months of marriage eventually ended in divorce, but the two have both stated in separate interviews they're still on good terms, and they think highly of one another. There doesn't seem to be any drama between the two. Sometimes marriages just don't work out. 10. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito. During 2006, actors Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito were married in France after dating for a year. 4 months after the ceremony, however, Jennifer filed for divorce. Years later, she referred to her ex-husband as a master manipulator, a phrase that garnered attention in numerous tabloids. She also revealed other feelings about her ex in her book Jennifer's Way. She described Cooper as both arrogant and cocky, as well as unattractive. Cooper seems to have found love, however, and has a daughter with the Russian model Irina Shayk. Jennifer, however, ended up marrying Louis Dowler in 2014, but divorced 2 years later. Hopefully, Jennifer will be able to find a happy relationship of her own. 11. Katy Perry and Russell Brand. Perhaps one of the most dramatic marriages on this list, Katy Perry married comedian Russell Brand in a lavish wedding in India. The two were married for barely over a year before things took a disastrous turn. While Russell was on a trip to Africa, he realized that the lifestyle of living with a pop star just wasn't for him. That's all well and good, but his method of communication about these feelings was far too impersonal. While Katy was on tour, Russell decided to tell his wife that he wanted a divorce, over text. Based on this list, it's pretty easy to see just how dramatic the lives of celebrities can get, especially when you add romance to the mix. Hopefully, these stars will be able to find long and happy romances later in life. Which of these marriages do you think was the craziest? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Factsverse for more videos.